Hi guys, it's Blaze. Welcome back to today's video. Today we're pretty much going to be talking about some One Piece. I'm not sure what I titled this video, honestly. I had two different ideas. It was either talking about like Luffy's hat, or necessarily what the One Piece is, perhaps inherited will. And sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking, it's gonna happen. But mostly because of the fact of, I'm caught up with One Piece. I've seen, the fights. I've seen the Conquerors Haki clash. Well, the latest chapter 1029. I haven't read it yet. But besides that, in terms of the actual One Piece and everything, what the hat means and all that stuff. So I was watching a video today, from Anime Balls Deep, and it was basically saying like, oh, what does Luffy's straw hat actually represent, right? And this and that, like inherited will and this and that. And basically I watched the video and I kind of agreed with it, and I liked the direction they were going, but I felt that what I'm about to bring, like what it's saying about the actual inherited will of the hat per se, is actually kind of more real than it seems. And why I say that is because I know it was in one chapter that we actually saw Im-sama, or Imu-sama, however you want to say it. He actually had like a wanted poster of Straw Hat Luffy. And it was, he was in this room, this cold room, and they even brought it up on that video. But I did remember this anyway. It was like this big straw hat, like this giant straw hat, and it was frozen. The room was cold. It was cold, but it was like, oh, okay, so what? I didn't know if it was, how important. From that point on, it made us raise the question of, is Luffy's hat just more important than it seems? Of course it's a treasure for him because of Shanks, but what I was thinking was because I was looking at, I've already kind of noticed it, but one theory that I had of it relating to the One Piece necessarily is that, for one, I think that the world government has already found the One Piece. Just to be honest, that's my thing. I think they already have, because yeah, Goldie Roger set off a new era, but if you kind of notice throughout the story, they never say, oh no, we can't let them find the One Piece. Like, granted, yeah, I know in the movie, what movie was that? They had that log pose, the final, whatever, what I mean, when Luffy broke it and stuff. Yeah, it was gonna lead to the One Piece, but ultimately it leads to Laugh Tale. That's the whole point. That's information about, the Void Century. And of course it's tied to it because apparently that they're like, okay, well, he's a pirate king, right? What could he literally have at his disposal that is so important, that's just means so much to him, the best treasure you can think of, besides like that vast amount of knowledge or anything? It could be anything. One Piece could be literally anything, but it's most likely tied to Laugh Tale, right? I would think they would think that. Or if anything, if it's not, then they probably already have the One Piece itself. I think that the One Piece is probably already found, but it still stands to say that it was known that his final journey was going through the Grand Line and he reached Laugh Tale. Any smart person, or at least any smart pirate, would probably go through the Grand Line and try to find Laugh Tale, if they could. It's one of the reasons why the four emperors, well, Big Mom and Kaido, at least. I know, of course, Blackbeard's trying to get there, per se, or whatever he's trying to do. But any big hitter in the New World is probably going to end up trying to go to Laugh Tale. But the whole point I'm trying to get at is that I think the One Piece has already been gotten. It's just they've never really mentioned it. Yeah, they were like, oh, the One Piece, but I think it's already been found. I think they just don't want anybody to learn about the Void Century. And of course, that's why they've even tried to capture Robin. But still, the point still stands is that, or at least they're trying to again, it seems. But what I was talking about with the hat, the inherited will thing, I think it's much more simpler than we actually think about it, because one of the things is just with Haki, and it's that simple, right? It's kind of like the same thing that you would think of when you're talking about that. What's that slip of paper called when you have it has someone's like life force linked to it? I don't think it's like that or anything, but something like that. You can actually connect your life force to something like a piece of paper. Now, it's that specific piece of paper is for that reason, but it's for that reason. Like, you can actually do that. You can literally sense when someone's dying just by looking at it, and it burns. But The whole point I'm trying to get at is that it looks like the hat itself is more linked to Haki, because like how we look at Haki, we don't know about observation Haki too much of what you can really imbue that into. I would say probably like Mihawk's eyes. Maybe if you can imbue it more to your own eyes, maybe you get those little eagle-eyed things. Maybe armament Haki. You know, apart from actually pouring it into your weapon or around your body, you can push it outwards to make it affect stuff. But the thing is, when you make it affect the weapon, or even just part of your body, yeah, it makes it stronger, much more durable. But what else does it do? Some weapons, it just leaves it, especially swords mostly, they leave it completely black. And it's like, for what reason, right? Yeah, it's because you just poured so much Haki into it, like over time throughout battle experience and years of using it. But why is that like a result? Because you would think that as long as you have strong Haki, you could just pour it into it at any time, and then it's like, okay, boom, right? But then we see Enma, which I don't even think it's been like a black blade. I mean, I would think that because it was able to like suck anybody's like Haki out. Well, we've seen it turn black, but it didn't stay black. That, you know what I mean? But I don't even as strong as that sword is, it wasn't like a black blade truly. But what I'm getting at is, what about Conquerors Haki? We know what we can do with like imbue it in attacks. But what if you could legitimately imbue, like the whole point is like your will. What if you could legitimately put your will like into something, right? And looking at it, it's like, since Roger has had this hat this whole time, I mean, it was pretty much about his journey. Who knows where he even got this hat from? But I would say it was probably passed down to him from someone as well, maybe, I don't know. But it's safe to say that his career as a pirate was pretty successful. I'm pretty sure he's lost some fights, but then he passed it on to Shanks at some point. Shanks' career is pretty successful too. Same thing with Luffy. In fact, Luffy is not necessarily the most successful, because you would say that Roger's most successful, being the Pirate King, being very powerful, whatever, right? Even Shanks. I mean, Shanks is just revered as like basically like one of like the top dudes in the New World right now. But Luffy, I mean, his whole adventure so far has been little over 2 years. And first starting out, the stuff that he's been doing, at like age like 17, like not everybody's able to like legitimately like defeat a warlord at 17, even with his fruit. He got lucky, but he was still able to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're just going to be able to do what your dream is or what it desires just because. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of sacrifice, a lot of stuff that you're going to have to go through in order to get it. But it still stands that you might legitimately be able to carry out your dream if you wear this hat. And I think that's kind of one of the things that is like being free or whatever. I think like, if not Roger, then someone who gave that hat to him most likely legitimately poured Conquerors Haki into that hat to where their will is legitimately true. And it's probably more so the fact with Gold Roger. What if the One Piece is something where it can influence the world, right? You can pour enough Conquerors Haki into it to where like literally just like one sentence, he started a whole era. Yeah, it was upon his death, but that was the whole point of being free. It's something that's gonna keep, stay forever lasting. It's not gonna end. And I mean, I would say it's possible, but just his will enough. I'm not saying his Conquerors Haki was just that freaking strong, but his influence, doesn't matter what your influence is. You can be a strong pirate all you want. If you die, you're dead, right? But legitimately, this dude started a whole era just because, oh, my treasure. You think really that many people over this amount of time just going to be looking for freaking treasure? Like the freaking, whatchamacallits, the emperors, I'm pretty sure they've gathered enough money over time that they probably don't need any more, and if they do, I mean, it's not much. I mean, they could probably like hit like one government bank and they're set, legitimately. But no one wants to mess with the emperors, I mean, especially Kaido. No one's even killed the guy yet, let alone damage him. Now we know it's because of Conqueror's Haki, I guess, and his dragon scales or his fish scales, whatever you want to call it. But it could be legitimately where the actual hat itself has its own Conquerors Haki will to where you can actually do that. And you can see that with Luffy, where he basically goes around and pretty much just emanates not friendship, but he's able to gather so many people close to him, and so many people believe in his dream. But the only people who don't believe in his dream might not necessarily have Conquerors Haki, but they have a strong will of their own. So it's going to be so difficult to sway them, if you can at all, right? But I would say yes, pretty like literally everywhere Luffy goes, he can do that. But just imagine if you focus all that into like one thing, then yeah, I'm pretty sure this like a freaking pen. As long as you write with this pen, your dreams will come true. You know, I mean, you know, you never know. As long as that pen is freaking important to you, I guess. But even through all the battles that Luffy's been through, Shanks has been through, even Roger, that hat is still alive. Like, I don't think that's just like for no reason. Like, it's legitimately been like in some freaking weather damage and all this and all that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's, a bit, a few pieces of straw, out of whack on it. But the hat is still like not like alive, but put together. It's not broken or anything. I don't even think Luffy's hat even sewed up at all, unless, to my knowledge right now, I don't remember him having to do that. But I think it still stands that legitimately Conquerors Haki it plays a big role in the final thing about Laugh Tale and how it can influence one's will quite literally, where with it you can actually make someone else's dream legitimately come true, but at a cost. They legitimately have to work hard because it's your will that they're picking up. You know what I mean? But it's still probably gonna happen. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it. I think that's, I don't know, it was just an idea that I had. I still do think that the One Piece itself has already been found, and now they're really just looking for Laugh Tale. That way they could probably let them not know about the Void Century or the ancient weapons or any other secrets of the world. It could be anything. But that was pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. So give me a like or whatever, and have a blessed day. See you later.